Ladies and gentlemen, we would now like to present to you and formally introduce Bob, Kris, and Arthur, the Play No Games podcast.
It's your favorite podcast where we talk about real life and exchange a few laughs. We sticking to our path. When you find understanding, just know that will never last. We ain't here to play no games. The world
Welcome
is
back
getting
to the
crazy,
Play No
and
Games
now we know
podcast.
we gotta be.
This is your
the
host,
change.
Cartier Bob.
Bro, come on.
It's Kris.
It's tight for it.
It's Arthur.
And we're back again, like the good old Avengers movie. We're all finally all here together. We got Sam Wilson. We got damn. We got what's the Ant-Man? Ant-Man.
I'm
Paul
Ant-Man.
Rudd. Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd. I'll take it. You know what? I'll take Ant-Man.
I mean, I feel like I'll probably be Iron Man, but just like, I'm just like,
You ain't Iron Man, nigga. Really? Tony Stark.
yeah, bro, I ain't gonna hold you.
No,
I am not
you're.
Captain Opera, Hawkeye.
I was gonna give him Hulk. I was gonna give him
I
Hulk.
was gonna give you hope too.
All right, so you just call.
Bruce. Whatever
Wait,
his
you
name
basically just called me a punk.
I didn't say Hawkeye.
No, you said Hulk.
Yeah, Hulk.
He went missing for a movie and a half.
Hulk's the best character.
First and foremost,
Hell no, are you
wait a
crazy?
second. The disrespect they wrote in the Hulk, like the real
Yeah.
Hulk.
Yeah.
Come
The,
on.
the comic Hulk
The
is
real
way
Hulk-
better.
The real
yeah.
Hulk is putting.
Yeah,
All right, that's
Yeah.
respectful, and I'm not Captain America. Let's get that right.
nah,
You're not?
He's what's Doctor Strange's helper?
No, he's
Come
Wong?
on,
Hey,
come on.
shout out to motherfucking Wong.
I didn't want to be racist and assume that.
Shout out
like,
to fucking Wong. Yeah, I'll fuck for Wong. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shang-Chi too, starring me. I'm not about to say some other
wait,
stuff.
what was that? What the
what
hell?
Yeah, Shang-Chi starring me. What? Shang-Chi starring me.
Oh, that actually means something.
Yes, that's
That's
the name
I
of
thought-
that's the name of the movie, Shang-Chi.
Oh, I thought he just went off the deep end.
Oh, okay.
I know.
Yeah,
I was like, bro, you trying to get us canceled?
What did I say?
I thought he,
I don't know. I said
Don't
Shang-Chi.
repeat it.
No.
It's a trap.
I
Don't
said
repeat it.
Shang-Chi.
don't listen to his.
All right. Yeah, we're good.
Hey,
All right.
His comments did not reflect.
Trying to phonetically pronounce Mandarin.
I
Yeah.
said Shang-Chi.
And the words after that, too.
That was it. That was all I said.
Starring me.
Starring me.
It was the way you said it, like the
Something
inflection
about
of
it,
your
yeah.
tone.
Sounded very South Parky.
Yeah.
Anywho,
Shitty,
yeah,
shitty.
I would be Shang-Chi. I would be his like cousin. He'd be like, it'd be Rush Hour 5.
Oh,
shit.
God.
All right, first segment.
If you like what we're doing, like, comment, subscribe. It's right here. Help me pay my friends. $ hero Bob. Now we gotta get you guys into a legendary segment.
I thought you was
Legendary
I
segment.
thought you was still talking.
Yeah.
Legendary segment.
This is the Play No Game segment. It could be positive, negative, informative. It could be anything about your day. All you have to say is I'm ready to play no games about this. Since I ain't seen him in a minute, Cashapp.
Yeah, I'm playing no games about College Football 25 video
Uh-oh.
game.
Uh-oh.
I know you guys are all looking at me in disgust out of jealousy. Maybe not Tay because he gets it. He's with the culture. I've been sucked into that game. I haven't played video games like this in years. I decided to pick up the game. I think first day I put 5-6 hours on.
Oh, snap.
I'm a very casual gamer, but I am just sucked in. I'm rebuilding Hawaii Rainbow Warriors right now.
Oh,
I'm in
snap.
year 4. We're now a 3.5-star program. I got my first couple 4-star recruits. I am just absolutely sucked in. I put them in the Pac-12. I rebuilt the Pac-12. The game is as good as advertised. It is amazing. I feel like I'm back in middle school playing old NCAA football. It's fantastic.
That's what's up, bro. I mean, I've been anticipating it, I think, just as much as you. I haven't had a chance to actually purchase the game because I've just been, life has been lifing. I've heard it's kind of mid, though, compared to other people's expectations. Like, the Road to Glory mode is severely overrated.
I haven't played Road to Glory. I say Dynasty's dope. I would say the gameplay. Oh my goodness. The gameplay after playing it for a while, it's It's very hyped. I'll say that.
Okay.
It is good though. It is good. I'd say better than Madden. Still,
Uh-uh.
still better than Madden.
How does it compare to like the old ones?
It's more in depth. Like recruiting is harder. Like stuff like I gotta like call their mom. I gotta send them DM messages.
Really?
I gotta schedule them visits. That's how I get good recruits in Hawaii. I schedule visits and I highlight campus lifestyle, which is an A+ for Hawaii, because everything else is shit. Like education, path to professionalism. All this stuff is like C or lower.
So how
but
do
at least life on
so
campus.
you have to
is-
get all of that up on your campus? In order to-
that I can't control, but at least the campus lifestyle is an A+. So when
you
so
sell
when
what you can sell.
I sell what I sell, exactly.
Yeah.
So you gotta meet their moms.
Yeah, I gotta.
I mean,
I literally
is
one
it
of the
coach?
options is send message to family.
So is it like on that Forrest Gump? I gotta meet your moms. Is you in this school?
I mean, you gotta get it done. We gotta get it done. I've done that. I've given out a lot of Hellcats. What can I say? Like, I'm the number one recruit right now. Like,
I gotta get my son to
Do they talk about NIL money on it?
no, there's no reference to NIL. There is a transfer portal, and that's dope because you can bring in guys who are like juniors, seniors, and all this stuff from other schools. But no, it's really in depth, and that's what I'd say. It's more in depth than the OG one from like 2014. And then just graphic wise, I mean, it's a gorgeous game. Gameplay wise, it's fun. But yeah, no, the game is hyped. It's dope. I need to like step away though. It's eating up too much of my time.
That's fire. I guess I go next. I play no games about my enjoyment of this season of House of the Dragon. I will say I do have one complaint that Damon's character has been too sucked into this almost like hallucination type of like state that he's been in the last like 2 episodes. I'm like, all right, bro, like we only got 2 more in this season. I need some more action, so I need you to like hurry up and get your shit together. So get to the battlefield and we can see more dragons fire and fighting and shit. So yeah, that was my geeked out like fantasy tangent for the day.
Is season 2 better than season 1?
Overall, I would say no. I know some people have some complaints about season 1 slow burn start, but when you're building, so the thing with that is for me with Game of Thrones, they already had a blueprint in terms of like knowing they'd probably have to shoot at least 5 to 7 seasons in order to tell the full story. Whereas, they're only expecting to be greenlit for 3 seasons here for House of the Dragon. So when you're building out this entire new world, introducing people back to Westeros, you have to get a lot of shit done quickly within like 2-3 episodes to make people care. Okay, why is Rhaenyra important? Why is Viserys, Daemon, so forth? Why are they important? So, it was a lot of contextual stuff the first 4 episodes, and then slowly but surely you start to see like the family tearing apart at each other for power, and then the last half of season 1, that's when you start to see people choosing sides, and then now we hear where we're at.
Okay, fair enough. I need to give it a real
quick question.
shot.
What's up?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you know what House of Dragons are?
Yeah. I think I stopped watching after 3 or 4 episodes of the first season.
Okay.
I just fell off of it.
Do you know about it? Do you know about that?
I mean, I know about Game of Thrones, but I don't know
Okay.
about House of Dragons.
Okay, great.
I was gonna ask the question. Go ahead.
Real quick question. Game of Thrones universe versus Lord of the Rings universe. Who wins? I say Lord of the Rings dominates the fuck out of that universe.
Writing wise or just
No, just like creatures. Like if it was like multiverse battle.
Oh, House, Game of Thrones for sure.
Lord of the Rings creatures fucking dominate.
I would say
Smog,
I would say Lord of the
wipes half those
I would say
dragons.
Lord of the Rings.
Only reason why I push back on you haven't seen the second half of season 1 or season 2. If I just have 3 of the dragons back then, because they're much bigger.
I did see that they're much bigger.
Yeah.
I did see that they're much
But
bigger.
you know how big Smog is, bro. He was under an entire minefield.
Yes, but that's 1 compared to the 9 to 10 that they have. They're close in size, Sim.
I want to
What about
get
the
Andrew's.
demons?
I wish Adam might.
What about
I want to
the
get Andrew's
demons?
opinion.
What
Go
about
ahead.
the
Yeah.
demons?
No, come on.
So wait, Lord of the
And hold on. That's like a
Lord of the Rings movies or just overall universe?
I'll say universe.
Okay, yeah, no. Game of Thrones is fucked. Lord of the Rings has a spider the size of a mountain. It's the mother of Shelob. So, plus
A fucking killed it.
Is that politically correct?
Oh, forgive me. A little person.
Yeah, we're all getting canceled today. How about that?
A little person killed it.
I'll
Not,
bleep it.
well, it's killed Shelob, but not the mother. Mother just died of old age. But come on.
Okay.
Just saying.
Interesting. That's all.
Question. Do you have to watch all of the Game of Thrones to get into House of Dragons?
No. Honestly, it might make more sense, like timeline wise, for you to watch House of the Dragon first.
And then go to Game of Thrones.
It's a prequel.
It's a prequel, so.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Because I stopped watching Game of Thrones after like the second episode, and I was good on it.
Okay.
Too much incest.
It was just too weird for me. Yeah,
Right.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't push through. Oh, I'm cool on this. Yeah.
There's incest in House of Dragons though too.
Yeah, but I don't know what it is with the Targaryens. Like people like just turn a blind eye to it, but with the Lannisters.
Well, that's what they're known for,
Yeah.
with their blonde hair.
So they're known for incest.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
They're keeping their bloodline.
Pretty much.
So they're
That's
keeping it pure.
that's how they used to do in
The English. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's
the
when they
old
all
times,
had like
yeah.
autism.
yeah, because they
Wow, we're
I'm
3
just,
for 4.
no,
So-
I'm just saying.
on a roll today.
AJ,
That's what you
come on
ever look
down.
into it, like what inbreeding does. That's what it creates mental disabilities.
it does. It's crazy because I
you
was
a
literally
scientist?
in the English when I was in Nottingham
Oh,
in the
so you're a
castle. They were
scientist.
talking about this in the history of like, yeah, it was crazy.
The Mad King, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Messed up too.
So you're saying he was mad because he had autism?
They
Or
might-
some other disability.
Wow, that's crazy.
They do actually have a phrase that
Before he was cursed.
What
now
do-
we know what it is.
what do they say? Every time a Targaryen is born, the gods flip a coin.
Oh, if they're like mad or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that explains it.
That's crazy.
We're getting on dangerous levels.
Uh,
Some of these views do not reflect the business that is growing out of here.
All the views we just got from the 2 guests we had out the window, baby. They just turned off.
So actually, per NIH, yeah, incest does raise the chances significantly of autism developing.
Oh, we're not canceled! Yay!
It's a fact, not an opinion.
Oh wow! Oh, okay.
So I'll go. I'm playing no games about the WNBA All-Star game versus the whatever USA women's team, and it's crazy to me. It's not crazy, but it's mind blowing that a lot of these players that played on the All-Star team didn't make the USA team, which is a whole another ordeal. But it to me shows proof that sometimes star power is what it is. And you know that whole debate with Sue Bird and
Diana Taurasi and Breonna Stewart.
yeah, and that all that, you know, to me is making more sense now why people are having that backlash is because, like, man, y'all just dominated a team that's going to go play the Worlds, and to show that there are still some better athletes on the WNBA side that really should be on that team and really represent the U.S. the way it should be represented. Plus, people wanted to see Angela Reese and Caitlin Clark on that team, too, which would have brought more eyes to WNBA as a whole and women's sports in general, which their jersey sales are up 500% looking online, which was crazy to me. But it's like they said, if the more television they got, the more money they would get, and it's been proven. So
Yeah, it was a great game. Yeah. Erika, even though she's talented as hell, probably has the best one-on-one bag in the league. I don't think she's a Chuck, but
ooh.
she ain't seen a shot. She ain't like.
I mean, that's her moment to shine too.
It ain't just that game.
But she doesn't get to shine, even though she balls out like that all the time. It's all about Angela Reese and Caitlin Clark. When you think about the WNBA, even a lot of the big heads are starting to fade out of the conversation of a lot of people's talk. It's mostly about what is Angela Reese doing, how she get another technical, or how many points is Caitlin Clark going to score in a game, or playing Sabrina Ionescu for the first time or whatever. It's like
Yeah.
the battles. Who is she battling? So you don't hear about a lot of these other athletes that come in that have been dominating the game or have been putting up 30-point games. You haven't hear about them because it's all been centered around these two athletes, which is not a bad thing. But folks like that don't get their shine.
I think it just takes time, and I think we can't deny how not just men, but just how the entire entertainment community has responded to WNBA, and then also how the talent has already been there, but like the evolution of like how we look at a Steph player and how shooting the threes and all this is blah 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 blah, where like people are having that lens where I'm not even on front. Like, I'm learning about new players. Like, oh, if that WNBA All-Star game didn't happen, I would have not known who that person was. And it fights the narrative. People are like, oh, I can't watch the WNBA because it's not entertaining. That game was very entertaining. Like how they said so this sets the market for the next year. Like, this is the template to build upon that, where you can be your own entity, where you're not really.
I will chime in. Just because I do follow the WNBA like relatively closely.
I know you do.
No, I'm saying that game itself isn't like a full indication of or fully accurate indication of how that game normally is played. And in years when it's like the USA team versus the All-Star team, they usually crank it up a bit just because the WNBA team, the national team only has like a short window to get ready. So it's kind of an unspoken thing. All right, we got to take it serious. In other years where just a normal All-Star game format is, I'm not going to say as bad as the men's side, but it's a little bit more lackadaisical. Like they're not trying to take each other's heads off.
Yeah. Okay. Much. See, my only thing when I like to talk about the WNBA and how things are going, I always like to say that I'm becoming more of a regular. I'm still casual. I hate this whole we have to talk about it, but also people just front. I'm like, some people, we really weren't talking about this, 2-3 years ago, and I feel like it's disingenuous for us to not talk about oh, I'm just learning and picking this up. Just like I'm learning to pick up soccer better. Like I was watching the Romanian game. Like I was, I was picking up stuff.
I don't know why people feel so much shame with just saying oh yeah, no, I'm just a new fan.
You don't have to be an armchair expert. Now, I didn't know that. So for example, here, I didn't know the All-Star team played the USA team. Wouldn't there be All-Stars?
Yep.
That are on the USA team. So then how does that get split? They just play for the USA team to prepare, and then they pick alternatives for the All-Star team?
So basically, is the national team makes their selections. So that's 12 players there then on the national team. Then I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm pretty sure it's similar to how the NBA does theirs. Then the media then selects the 12 players that they would want for the opposing All-Star game.
So, for example, if you make the USA team, Diana Taurasi here, for example, then she won't be an All-Star? Is she still voted as an All-Star, quote unquote?
Oh.
When we're talking about legacy, how many All-Stars are hers versus how many times has she missed it because she was playing for the USA team?
I think they actually may still get technically a nomination because it's two teams theoretically playing a game.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
But in terms of when you go back and you're all right, who won the All-Star game in 2008, the West or East? That those type of game scores and stuff aren't calculated into that. Okay. If I understand it correctly.
I wonder if they did that this year because there's not too many teams and players to really
What you mean?
I mean, because there's only 16 teams for the WNBA.
I think
14 teams or something like that.
If they did what?
Just did it how regular West, East.
Oh no, they always have to do this every year where it's Olympic because their season just lines up. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So that's why they take the month off.
The summer stuff. Yeah.
Oh okay.
Yeah. Okay, I was just curious.
Well, that's why Angel was at that one game. I was like, isn't the season
Nah, some of them they on vacation and stuff now.
Yeah, I was like, aren't you in season? You take a break.
Their season's quick, which is another thing that I feel should really change going into next year. It's they need more.
How many games do they play? 30 something, 40?
It's 40. I want to say.
Well, I'm not gonna make it long, but what I play no games about is gratitude, and what I play also games about when it comes to gratitude is just vision. I think I've been seeing a vision just how my life is supposed to go, and sometimes things get more difficult when change happens, and sometimes it's not as easy. And I'm right now riding that wave of change, and I think, you know, in the next 1-2 years, I can't wait to see the finished product. If I'm being honest with you, I don't want to play no games about just riding the vision. But before we get into our very first topic, I do want to make this quick. But one of our co-hosts sitting on here mentioned this. 2 to 3 weeks ago, there was a comment made about Bronny James and a bet, and I think we gotta squabble out real quick before we get into our topics.
Yeah, so we spoke before about whether or not Bronny could shoot. It was a good shooter. And remember,
Do we read back the court notes?
yes, if you can, please.
Oh no!
Oh, you got court notes?
Because I can't remember what the percentage was that he had to shoot during summer league.
What was?
No, because remember we upped it to 37 because I was like, no, 35. That's an average shooter. I wouldn't call you a good shooter.
Was that the last?
3 episodes ago.
Yeah,
3 episodes.
3 episodes.
I think
ago.
it was 37%. But
Let me go back
yeah,
and look. Give me a sec.
because I have his stats on me.
What's up? Go ahead.
So he shot 30.
7% from 3 and over 12 points per game was another one.
Yeah. Oh, that was another one. Yes.
Damn.
Yeah. So
They was blind.
his
on
actual
you.
percentage of what he shot for the entire summer league was 35% from the field.
We need some court music.
And then 15% from three, rather. Now, Rob, I know you follow basketball, right?
Hey, you know, I'm a guy.
Rob, you follow basketball, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Russell Westbrook, would you call him a good shooter from 3?
No.
Okay. Kaz, what does Russ usually shoot from 3?
29%.
Yeah, like 27.
So if I divide 29 in half, what do you get roughly?
14.5.
Hey, you know,
Okay.
I was gonna do 7 times 4. That's 28.
Hey man. I bet on Bronny and lost, baby. It's all right. Hey.
Keep on crapping that one. Good value, Davion Mitchell.
Great value. With that being said, AJ,
Yes,
do you
sir.
want to kick us with our very first topic, sir?
Oh, why are you gonna start with me?
No one gets to see you as often.
We're
So
allowing you to fight back right now.
exactly.
I mean,
switch up the topic.
hey,
You
I
can't-
don't need to fight back. I own up my losses. It's all right. Unlike some people, but
Nigga,
speaking
who?
of
Nigga, who? No,
It might not be someone here. I don't know. It might be referencing someone else.
Okay. You gotta be like, I'm a Whoville, nigga. I'm a citizen. I report. Who?
Speaking of some people losing, Chris Brown is in the news again.
Shocker.
Over his 11/11 tour, he is being sued for $50 million on beating up 4 fans. Him and his entourage. So according to CBS News, they had VIP access. They were told to put their phones away security. Chris Brown shook up a fan, and his bodyguard was like, "Aren't you beefing with him?" And he was like, "Actually, I am." And he told the bodyguard to beat him up. Proceeded with another person who got a part of it, who they beat up. And I guess Chris Brown was a part of it, kicking people. And so
not to cut your knowledge, I just need to clarify. So I don't know if you know. So the person whose bodyguard was like, "Aren't you beefing with him?" Is this just like a normal civilian?
No, that's Chris Brown's bodyguard.
I know. I'm saying the person who he's saying, "Aren't you beefing with him?" about is this,
I don't know. It doesn't.
Okay,
It doesn't have their names.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that was another artist or.
They don't have their names. They
All
don't
right.
have their names. But he was like, he said, "Aren't you beefing with this dude?" And which to me was confusing. That Chris Brown wouldn't recognize that they were beefing too.
Mm-hmm.
And then they proceeded to beat up 2 people.
Who paid VIP?
Who paid VIP to go see Chris Brown?
Would you say that fight was wall to wall?
The little transcript.
It's okay.
You lucky son of.
Hey, hey,
37%.
It was 37. All right.
you missed a great joke, everybody.
No, I heard it.
I
What was
would
the joke?
I would like to say it again.
Say it again. We got time.
Could you set me up? Could you set me up again, sir? Could you just say Chris Brown?
Chris Chris Brown and his entourage.
Yeah.
Beat some people up.
Would you say that fight was wall to wall?
Wow. Wow.
That's why no one heard it.
That was very dark.
Okay.
That was very dark.
So my question to y'all is like,
I hate everyone.
do you feel like Chris Brown is being targeted, or do you feel that Chris Brown is bringing these things upon himself?
I have no sympathy for that fool.
Oh, well.
He is a delinquent. He has that beige colored fellow has survived.
He's a waffle cone like you.
Yes, he is.
Whoa, I've never heard that term.
Yeah, nah, he's a waffle colored Negro. I'll say this: if you want to see any example of light skin privilege, look no further than him. This man has beat women. He has harassed them. He has started brawls in clubs that almost cost Tony Parker a damn eye. He has used homophobic slurs and targeted a gay man and then assaulted him. Well, no, attempted to, and then got hands and feet put on him in a parking lot, and still survived. And somehow he's still Teflon. There's women that's lining up paying $1,000 to just hug this man, but at the same, in a different vein, we'll say other artists need to be canceled for XYZ. It's just a little bit of hypocrisy with that. That's why I feel no.
Let's keep it a band. It's talent privilege. If he wasn't this talented, he wouldn't be able to get away with some of the stuff.
And as somebody that's light skinned, I feel comfortable saying it's a little bit of colorism as well.
I can see that. I don't think Idris Elba could get away with this.
Different field, but yeah.
But I'm saying, like, I'm just thinking of that complexion of, like, colorism. But,
Maybe if you would have said, like, Kodak Black.
that delinquent.
Because
Yeah.
Idris
Another
has, like, an
delinquent.
English accent, you know.
He's
He's proper, all that stuff.
But I feel like
Anyways.
there's other artists who are also fair skinned who have done things
Boosie?
and haven't got this type of treatment too as well. So I think it plays into both roles really. I mean,
Like who?
I hate to
But
bring in some of these other names, but even in the sense of like when you think of like colorism, right? Michael, right? They were saying in acquisitions of like
Michael Myers?
No, he's talking about Michael Jackson, but
Oh,
like
okay.
they were, all these things were going after him on the things that he supposedly did. And so I don't feel like what you're saying is kind of colorism in a way. In my eyes, I feel like he's doing stupid stuff. Absolutely. But it's also targeting to try and get him to be, kind of kicked out in similar facets, because he is making so much money and he is bringing us a spotlight to popularity into society.
All right. I think I'm going to say this. I definitely think there is, when you're a celebrity, you don't act for this. Once we blow up, people might, gonna come down the street. Oh, you're Kris, from Play on Games podcast. Look at
Damn
you.
right I am.
You got them thick thighs. How you fit in that? And like they might, touch him without his consent and things like that. Did he ask for that? No. But my thing is how he responds is how he responds, right? So when we talk about emotional maturity, because I talk about this on a week-to-week basis, I understand the type of stress that entertainers go over and are under, but the emotional maturity is I have so much to lose by proving something in this like small squabble with these people, right? We'll say like for example, I can see my little niece heating up over some 15, 6-year-old stuff, but as a grown adult, I gotta be able that fire me up, but like, what am I willing to lose? And for a person that has gotten to multiple incidents as he has had and not think about the things that he can lose, lets me know that he is emotional maturity, i.e., why are you talking about Karuchi? She doesn't want, stop doing it. Where like, maybe there's some stuff that's happened behind the scenes or y'all have that connection. I don't need to speak on that. Yeah. I know. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. So it's just his emotional maturity is very low.
And the reason his emotional maturity is so low is because he's never had to pay for any of his he's never had consequences for anything he's done.
I think he's had consequences.
Going to jail, like however short it may be, there is some level of consequence. But
I don't want that tuna sandwich.
I do agree with you to an extent, though.
I think he's able to get away with a lot, and I think he's going to keep getting away with a lot until eventually it's going to be something serious.
Yeah.
Or he just fades into irrelevancy.
Do you feel
Not
like
gonna happen.
it's also because of the child star mentality?
Absolutely.
Of being
Absolutely.
able to do whatever you want since you were a kid and feeling like that's still a part of who you are in aspects?
Yeah, because he was running it.
Is that a reference? I didn't get that.
I can do this forever.
We're really knocked out the park with that one.
Double your pleasure, double your fun.
Oh my goodness. I don't know. It's because I feel like there's a lot of child stars who you begin to see a lot of short range growth in their mental. So like going back to their mental maturity, I feel like a lot of them have usually short tempers, or their maturity doesn't really hit until way later, and they reflect on their life. And maybe that's just he hasn't hit that ball yet. I don't know.
I was thinking he's a crash dummy. I'm not gonna hold you. It's like your uncle, like, sits on me to went to jail. Like, yeah, I caught a case. Like, bro, how many times? Like,
Nah, yeah, that's real.
as I'm sure all of you saw last week, I believe there was some type of software update that happened across. And Fat Dragon, can you fact check this for me? I believe the company's name is CrowdStrike.
Yeah,
If I'm not mistaken.
CrowdStrike.
It's a security company. Yeah.
Yeah,
For
Microsoft
Microsoft
products.
Microsoft products.
So that ended up impacting anything from air travel to certain hospital systems, certain financial institutions.
We were hit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Fact Dragon's work was hit.
Oh,
For anyone listening.
I was confused by that.
Yeah.
No, you.
This is cybersecurity. It's called CrowdStrike.
Nice. But I had like a few questions because my friend actually got caught in Detroit while trying to travel. He ended up having to stay overnight there just because Delta's customer service systems were like completely backed up. So he had to get his own hotel and still working on the reimbursement right now. One, why the hell are all these different institutions on the same cybersecurity system? Secondly, had you guys seen any banter or speculation around like maybe this being like some type of cyber strike? Or cyber attack rather.
I've heard that.
So I got stuck in London the other day, and I think this was part of it. But they were saying like it wasn't a cyber attack; it was like someone just like unplugged something.
They were doing an update overnight, and apparently they had messed up the update, which had then caused it to crash.
Mm-hmm.
And but I think I have to go with what you're saying too. Is I don't understand why all these airlines, all these companies are using the same cyber network because then if things happen, it shuts down like half the population, half the world.
Well, so think about it this way. So it's not that they're using CrowdStrike; it's that they're using Microsoft, and Microsoft uses CrowdStrike. So it's more of all these airlines, hospitals, all these companies and industries just use Microsoft across the board because it's easier to implement than like iOS is. So that's why, and it's also cheaper to implement as well. If you ever look at companies that use iOS, they're normally, like up there in terms of the type of
like where you work.
Stock price they are. What?
Like where you work.
No, we use Microsoft as well. Unfortunately, that's how you can tell if someone has like a bougie job, if they have like a Mac as their like work computer.
Okay.
So a lot of school districts and stuff like that.
School districts, they getting hacked every day. Talking about how about you hack some free lunch for them kids?
I mean, North Clackamas School District gives their teachers Mac.
Must be nice.
Must be nice.
Those refurbished Macs?
No, they're brand new ones.
Yeah. We got a fact check here.
Give him the mic.
Dang.
Thank you. So basically there's three main like cloud service providers. AWS, which is Amazon's, they run about 33% of any cloud services globally. Microsoft Azure, which is what CrowdStrike's run through, which is about 24%. And then Google's cloud platform, which is at like 10-11%. And the rest is just kind of everything else. But those are the big three that kind of run the internet.
So dope.
So I think
Interesting.
I actually appreciate this banter because I had an understanding of what was going on, but I think I still need to sit with some stuff and process some things. But just looking at like the bigger picture with a lot of this, it's just which company will dare to be different? Like, who will actually care about doing their job? Where, like, honestly, like, maybe homeboy forgot to plug in the thing. You know, he probably lost his job or homette or dudette, whatever. But it's almost kind of like they want employees to do all this work, but are cutting so many corners when it comes to the like overall product. So it's almost kind of like when something like this happens, it gives so much more credence to like the Obama video or movie where it's kind of like the world is over, like all this stuff is crashing. We're like, if we would just put just a tad bit more care and like pride in like, oh, I want to do a good job for the consumer because then they'll buy more.
Yeah, and people were going to the frenzy thinking it was going to be like some Y2K type of stuff. And we're like, oh, I need to go get some cash out right now. Like, bro, if the banks aren't operating, like, what is this cash going to do for you right now? But
or at Costco, they were like, oh, they have these emergency provisions packs at Costco. They're selling them now. Bro, I love Costco. They always got those. They're always there. Mm-hmm. The fact that they're just like more like drummed up was just hilarious to me.
Hitting up a Costco would be a nice little plug, though.
In a zombie apocalypse?
Yeah, you got your toilet paper, you know, other stuff there.
But my thing is like also like reflecting on that is I think this is where I get the most frustrated is like the selling point of these things, right? Catastrophic happens, we're gonna sell it. Right, and we're gonna sell it through Amazon. We're gonna sell it through Costco. We're gonna sell it through Fred Meyer's. Make sure you hurry up and get this because of. And now it's almost like the opposite effect of what really needs to happen in this world is like a positive change so that these things don't happen. It's more of now I want to make money off of fear, and it's like now you're feeding the animal. And selling fear.
I think I misspoke. Costco wasn't like selling like, oh, we have like emergency provisions. Like, it was just like a big social media thing. Like, oh, yeah, Costco's selling this. Like, but it's on sale.
But you think Costco's gonna be like, take this down? No,
I don't know.
They're gonna be like, absolutely, repost, and they're gonna go chase that bread now. And that's what I'm saying is like, we're selling.
Okay, I understand.
You're beginning
now.
to sell the fear in people. And try and capitalize off of that fear, and it's like that's not what we should be selling. Like that's not the goal of these things. The goal should be how can we stop this thing from happening so we don't have to sell fear anymore.
Mm-hmm. But is that really Costco's job?
That's so anti-capitalism.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can't help but put my conspiracy hat on and think that this was actually a cyber attack by the Russians or the Chinese. There's something fishy about it. I don't know. The excuse came quick. If we're thinking about what World War III would look like, it would be more like this.
Yeah, true.
You know, systems going down. Hearing a little buzz, boom, you're just destroyed, you know, drone strike. Like, this is, I don't know. I can't help but be a little bit like, okay. Like,
so
maybe this is, you know, I'm not saying this is when Franz Ferdinand was shot, but a couple months before that, you know, that kind of led to the First World War.
And a couple months from now, it's going through
an election. Or, you know, maybe, yeah, so...
Oh, you want me to do it?
Yeah.
I didn't write it.
He gave him the layup.
Damn, Sean. Sean Livingston head ass boy.
Hey, my mid range is crazy. Wow. I guess I'm doing this. Well,
missed the layup.
Speaking of elections, Robert, I think you had something you wanted to bring up.
Mine was Ask an Idiot.
I think this is more fun.
Okay, I was not expected to do this, but I'll step up. Last couple of weeks, you know, we're gearing up for our American presidential election, and one of our president-elects was
drooling. No, I'm playing.
Hey, was the attempted assassination of President-elect Trump, and that has caused
talked about in Europe.
That is a shitstorm that's happened in America, and I'll just say this: when it comes to a lot of different things, I hear a lot of different things from a lot of different people on a weekly basis about Trump, things that he does, Joe Biden at the time, he was still, still in the race then, being about why did things have to get this far? And I'm just curious, do you guys think it's crazy that we live in 2024 and we still, president-elects still have to like watch for like being assassinated? Like that's still like a thing. Do you think that's crazy?
I think it's only going to get worse. Honestly, just the structure in our country and the divide that we have as a country, it's only going to get worse. I think this was just a tall tale sign that where we're going is not in the right direction, and a lot of people don't agree with. Many people have said it. People don't want either candidate, so it's like when you break that product down, you have to pick one or the other. It's like some people are taking it to the extreme, and yeah.
Yeah, I'll say I agree with AJ. It's just right now, I think more Americans day by day are just getting tired of our current two-party system and just realizing, all right, it's not helping anybody at the bottom line at the end of the day, and the financial wealth gap is just increasing more and more substantially. And too often in previous elections, it's been somebody choosing the lesser of two evils instead of having a candidate that they actually believe in. So I would say it's more likely that this continues to occur. I have my own conspiracy theory. I really don't think he was shot for real, but that's neither here nor there.
Wow.
I had someone else say the same thing.
Yeah, just the angle with how he turned, it only nicking his ear.
But also,
a person really died, yo.
But also,
a whole
hold on.
Two people did that.
Did you guys see the RNC where they had the guys like a fake makeup of the firefighter costume and they misspelled the guy's name?
Yeah.
It's funny as shit.
Did we ever actually get a name for those people?
Yeah.
We did? Oh, finally?
Yeah.
Their families came out?
Yes. Fact check and pull it up. Yeah.
I'm not trying to be insensitive.
No,
it was like 3 days and like.
No. The people are real.
Okay.
Yeah.
They lost a father. Father trying to protect his wife, I believe. Wife and kid.
Yes.
So to me, I'm just kind of like, yeah.
Well, I'm just trying to get an understanding of like the lay of the land with how the events played out. So allegedly, President Trump was shot at.
Yes.
And then the shooter then turned and
Here, I got you. So from what I understand, the CIA when presidents do like events outside, they cover a domain. Like they have from this.
Yeah.
So this person didn't go into the dimensions. They didn't go into the arena. So this person, I believe, found a local roof that was outside of the dimension. So they went up there and got set up. And I guess I'm not a weapons guy. Kosh, you have to help me.
He shot from about 270 yards, which is actually a very short distance.
No scope.
Did he have no? Yeah. So
Like iron sights.
So essentially, the firearm he was using is rated up to 1,000 yards. He's using at about 250, 280. So just a chip shot, really, of a shot. I'm actually on the other side of the conspiracy where I think the shooter was real, but I think the Secret Service knew about it and didn't act because
the Secret Service person got fired.
The Secret Service person got fired. The sniper that ended up killing the shooter came out. Apparently, I can't confirm this or not, but allegedly said that he was told not to shoot the shooter after he saw him because he saw the shooter a lot, like 5 minutes before he actually shot at Trump. There was a cop going up, and then the shooter, and then ran away.
They also had people in the crowd moving them behind the stage.
There are a bunch of people in the crowd yelling, being like, "There's someone on the roof! There's someone on the
bro,
roof!"
What's up, Walt? It sounds like a bunch of malarkey right now.
All I want to say.
Go ahead.
All I want to say is, it's just so interesting that we live in a day and age where just disagreeing with someone costs you your life.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That to me is insane. There are people I disagree with, and I do not care so much where I want to see them in pain or dead. Whereas, like, for me personally, I'm just kind of like, we don't have to interact. But the fact that we can't, like, just because we share different political views means I need to be heard. It's just so, like, ridiculous. Like, that's like literally, like, respectfully, like, you die and God's like, oh, how'd you get up here from a LeBron and Jordan debate? Really? You couldn't have walked away from that? I feel like it's stupid shit like that.
But that's what I'm saying. I think that's why this is only going to get worse, because to me, I think this even more polarized our country, right? Because now it's you're either for me or you're against me. And to me, it added fuel to the fire for Trump to be elected in this process, because now he has something to say on top of what he's already saying, which I think is going to continue to polarize our country, to be like, you tried to kill our president, and or whatever the case may be, and now it's going to be a you versus me thing, which has nothing to do with you and me. And ultimately, like, our presidents are puppets anyway. They don't control nothing really that goes on in this country. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if whoever is in that seat, they're just the focus.
I'm actually glad that you said that, because somebody reminded me maybe like 4 weeks ago. They were like, the presidential branch is important, but we're really voting for the judicial and legislative branches. And like whoever you vote in, you're voting for that administration. So you're voting for the next 4 years of that administration. Yes, the president's power, they have the executive order. I think so many people forget that we have 3 branches of the government. Now, once again, whether people disagree with or not, I'm going to say in the middle for the most part. But when we have a Supreme Court that grants immunity for any president that's done whatever, right? That's just unfair. Because at the end of the day, if I do something to Pooh Shiesty, I have to pay for that. We talked about accountability for Chris Brown. People have to pay up and have that accountability. So I'm a firm believer of we have to either expand the Supreme Court, or we have to get the Supreme Court, being balanced once again. And being balanced meaning I want my government to be impartial for all people. And I think if I want a person in public leaders who want to do the entire job description, whether you fuck with Republicans or not, or if you fuck with Democrats or not, like, can you still see that person's a person, and I'm still going to get them resources even though they may be voting against their own best interests? Because being a civic leader, leading and putting another person ahead of yourself, even if they don't see. And I'm just tired of, like, I don't need to play sports with my politics, especially when it's with my community.
Man, that's the biggest thing.
So, speaking of other communities that are in peril, there's a beast that might be locked up pretty soon.
Yeah. So we got a lot of Mr. Beast fans here, right? I know Robert's a huge Mr. Beast guy.
Mr. Beast for president.
I didn't know who Mr. Beast was till you said it.
You're
in the chat.
shitting me. You didn't know who the most subscribed YouTuber is?
Nah.
Interesting. Okay. Well, Mr. Beast has a crew of friends that he's kind of started his whole journey with. One of them is a fairly controversial figure. Initially went by Kris Tyler. Now it's Ava Kris Tyler. The controversy started a couple of years ago, and Kris actually transitioned to a female. Totally fine, whatever. That was her decision to do so. But now it's come out that Ava, aka Ava Kris, she goes by, was actually grooming young children around the age of 14, 15-year-olds, DMing them, getting them to send her pictures. This was while she was Kris at the time, so she was a he at the time. But essentially it was boys, it was girls from what I read. This became public because another YouTuber created a video that actually had gained this information and had shared it. Came to the public about a day later. Ava came out and said, "Yeah, like I'm gonna be having to take a step away from Mr. Beast, from the production side, and kind of like half-ass apologize for it. Didn't really apologize for it. More sorry that they got caught." And I just find it's just interesting that like when people get a certain level of influence or power, it's one or the other, man. It's but something always relates back to children one way or another. It's
So,
weird. And the Dr. Disrespect stuff that happened last month.
Oh yeah,
too.
Doctor Disrespect.
He was messing with like an underage girl too. But sorry,
How old is Ava?
early 30s.
So Ava admitted more or less to pedophilia and
To communicating and communicating inappropriately with children underage. Yes.
yes. Okay. So and the resolution for that is for them to just step away.
We got a fact
We
dragon.
got a fact. Mike.
We want to hear that voice.
We have to hear the voice.
Oh yeah, you want to hear this voice? Good luck at it. You want to hear this voice,
Bro.
Rob?
I'll keep it.
You are unhinged today.
I'll keep it.
Sounds so bad in my ears with the headphones. That's all I gotta say.
You just snort. That was nasty
That was
work.
actually funny.
So the only like actual source for that news story of them grooming outside of just like people saying that is the Daily Mail, but the alleged victim has actually come out and said that they were not groomed, and that was not the case. They just made edgy jokes, but it was never a case of being taken advantage of.
Edgy jokes.
Yeah.
So there's
Now, real quick to rebuttal that is I have the actual tweet that Kris tweeted out.
and then there's this guy named Goobed.
Okay.
Like he exposes people. But yeah, he showed the Twitter.
Yeah,
things.
so tweeted this yesterday, said this is from Ava, Kris, Tyson Twitter page, X page. I would like to apologize for any of my past behavior comments if it hurt or offended anyone. It was not my intent. Seeing recent events, we've mutually decided it's best I permanently step away from all things Mr. Beast and social media to focus on my family and mental health.
That's a blanket PR statement.
Boy, how we use PR and mental health today, 2024.
Here we hear. Now that's nasty work right there.
Boy, ain't signing somebody in the heat of fire.
I mean, it's always been used in the courtroom. I feel like, most lawyers go to them and just say claim mental health, and things change for that defendant. Or, so I'm not surprised. I'm not shocked. I feel bad for the work that some other folks do who actually do that work, because I feel like it's watering down the actual process of the work if everyone's saying, I got mental health, I got mental health, which, I mean, people have things they have to work on, but I think, this is sucks.
No, you're affected.
This, to me, I think goes back to a lot of what we talked about, this role in power, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, power makes people do a lot of things. Power makes people do things that they feel they're untouchable. Going back to one topic, Chris Brown, all the other, like, a lot of these, it's a lot of the same stuff. And I mean, we can go back to most people who run with that idea of I'm in charge. And if you're grooming somebody or not, you're talking to somebody underage appropriately or inappropriately. You have to question yourself in that regard, regardless. That's wrong. Even if it's a joke or not, you're talking to somebody in an appropriate manner who is not. So it's like I don't know. This is a tough one. It's tough to see that people can just get away with anything nowadays if they have money, and it just like it hurts.
Is it? That's an interesting point. Would you say before? What's better, or actually maybe better to ask, what's worse? Before, where this stuff would just be secret and no one would know about it, or now where it becomes public, legally there's no like, I don't know the parameters, but maybe you can't charge them, but they can essentially get away with it while everyone still knows about it.
I mean, even before him, people knew. I mean, look at the whole, I hate to bring his name back into it, but R. Kelly situation. Everybody knew he was sleeping with underage people. And he got away with it for 20 plus years before something actually really happened. So, like, people know. And I think that's the part for me that kills me the most is if we're real friends and you know I'm doing something inappropriate and you continue to allow me to do something inappropriate, we not real friends. And I think we've had that conversation a few years ago on the podcast about checking your friends.
Okay, let's clarify some stuff. We're talking about a lot of dangerous stuff here.
Yeah, Rob was doing some bad stuff back in the day.
Cartier.
Bro, y'all wildin'.
But no, like checking on
No, real
friends,
talk,
right?
though, yeah.
Yeah, like check your friends, man. Like, you know your friends is doing some. If you know your friends is doing stuff inappropriate, check them.
And I think that's the thing that I want to wait to see, because if I get enough information and I feel like everyone else on the team kind of knew, I definitely think that, hits the Mr. Beast emblem, because I'm like, hey, he's built a lot of his stuff on authenticity. And it's like I tell you guys all the time, I can get fired from my job. I can do a lot of different stuff. But, like, the worst thing I could do for my career is cheat on a partner, because I'm pledging, the power of relationships and, things of that manner. I think that's the worst thing I could do for my career. And I think when it comes to, like, the Mr. Beast thing, if it does come out that he kind of knew about this, because sometimes we don't know what our friends are doing. Mm-hmm. And, like, let's just say there could be a lot of situations like, oh, I know you're talking to someone, but, like, because you never have a history of doing something like this, you have that assumption. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But, like, if they're, like, putting two and two together and, like, okay, I'm pushing away because I never knew about this, then I'll give him that grace. But that does add into the queue and puts into the queue of, like, hey, this is one thing we do got to watch about you, Mr. Beast, because this was happening under, in quotation, his watch. So,
two things I wanted to kind of add on top of that. One, there was a video that came out from a quote-unquote former employee of, like, Beast Inc., saying that this is only the tip of the iceberg of what was going on over there, and that there's a lot more to come out. That could totally be nothing. But I wanted to throw that out there. And two, Beastables, his snack brand, is a sponsor for the Hornets. It's on their jersey.
Yeah.
You think that's going to continue?
They ain't dumb. They ain't dumb. They need that
But
beast money.
Doesn't he have like toys for kids and candy directed at
well, toys I don't know, but he has like the snacks, the Beastables. It's all directed towards kids though.
This
like
is
his
all
videos and everything.
Very nasty work.
But once again, if he had knowledge of it,
apparently he did.
I'm saying
from alleged allegations.
It's almost kind of like, man, it's if he legitimately didn't know, he didn't know. Mm-hmm. So that's my only thing.
Well,
batting for his boy.
Hopefully, as we're seeing with that clown from Harlem, what's done in the dark will eventually come to the light. So he may have his day in court one day, whether it's a court of public opinion or actual criminal court.
Well, I'm going to get us out with our last segment of the day real quick. This is a short one, gentlemen. This is, am I the asshole? All right. Am I the asshole? I was flying from Melbourne to Dubai. I paid for a premium economy seat because it is a 14-hour flight, and I want to be comfortable. The person in the next seat had been upgraded, and they asked if I could switch seats with their wife, as they had just gotten married and were on their honeymoon. I congratulated him on his nuptials and asked where his wife was sitting. He pointed back towards the back in the economy. I declined to switch seats. He asked if there was another way to convince me. I offered to switch if he paid the difference between the seats. Is a godly amount, and I had been lucky to get mine at a decent price. It would only have cost him 1,000 AU.
Australian dollars.
There you go. Thank you. He said that they were on a budget for their honeymoon, I congratulated him once again and put in my earbuds. He muttered that I was an asshole. I said that he was a prick for trying to take the upgrade instead of either sitting with his wife or giving it to her. I told my wife about the incident and she thinks I should have done a nice thing. For the record, she hates flying in economy, so I know she would have not switched. Am I the asshole?
Hell no. What the fuck?
Hell no. If I'm paying premium economy is nice. That's a few grand.
Yeah.
No, if I'm paying a few grand, I'm enjoying that few grand.
And also, like, if you can't afford for you and your wife to both be sitting here, then that's on you, bro.
Yeah, why'd you take the upgrade and left her?
Dang.
No.
All right, you gonna have a heart. You ain't no Grinch, right?
I'm gonna play devil's advocate.
Ooh.
And flip the coin. Sometimes being nice goes a lot longer than your own perspective, and I think in that situation, for that one flight, I think if they would have put up a little bit of money or something, it would have been more convincing to be like, yeah, absolutely. But I would have really thought about it in the forefront and been like, you know what, I could do something nice for someone else in this opportunity. Because I think we need more of that in this world. And that's just kind of my direction, which I would speak to it is like, I think we need more of kindness, even though like the attachment to certain things shouldn't be there. So
I'll play devil's advocate to your devil's advocate and say that the guy that should have played his kindness card was the guy that took the upgrade. He was not being kind by asking that guy to sacrifice money. That was a very rude thing for him to do. So he got the karma at the end of the day for not being kind.
Or it could be kind to his wife and allow his wife to have a more comfortable 14-hour plane ride.
I mean, going to that, right? If I have an opportunity for an upgrade and they're like, well, there's only one seat available, I don't know if I really want to send my wife up there. I'm going to send myself to ask like he did, because with the possibility that my wife would be able to come sit next to me. So I think maybe that is his train of thought in this process is if I go send my wife up there and she's sitting next to some dude for 14 hours, who knows what's going to happen. If I go take the upgrade, I might be able to get that person to move and trade or whatever for that price. Ultimately, I think if I didn't get it or wasn't going to happen, then I probably would have went and sat back with my wife and send someone else up to sit with that person.
What you meant, like, what's going to happen? Like, she was going to go up there and they was going to go to the Mile High Club?
I mean, whatever the case may be.
If she going to fold on you on a plane, G, like, probably.
That's true.
Use a funny ass one.
That's real.
You one of them ones. Use a funny one for that.
It's 14 hours.
Man, 14 hours after you got married, she just risked it all for 14 hours. For the
I'm
dude
like,
next
yeah,
to you.
bro.
14 hours in economy is hell. Hell no.
I'm glad it took me forever to find a good one. I also want to get into the verdict of I don't think the dude was an asshole. Like, I think he tried to meet him where he's at. He's like, hey, just, grease the wheel a little bit. But also, I guess maybe I'm that type of dude where I'm like, I'd rather have my wife have that.
Facts.
I mean,
But like, I get what you're saying though. I don't disagree with what you're saying, but I think for me it's kind of like, all right, I can't get this. My wife can't get this. Let me bless somebody else. That's why I'm thinking like, all right, go sit there. But nasty work. If your mindset after you get married, you're like, man, if I put my wife in economy, she gonna fall on the nigga right next to her. Is she Luce Lois or something?
Damn.
Crazy.
Well, anywho, it's good having us all here together. I want to do a shout out to the barber battle, even though it will be past by the time this episode comes out. Hopefully you guys have shown up and shown out. Play No Games will be there. Backseat Critics will be there. Backseat Productions will be back there, producing stuff.
Casting couch.
Yeah.
Sick.
Wow.
But if you like what we're doing, I'm Cartier Bob.
I'm Kris.
I'm Tay Ford.
And I'm Arthur.
Like, comment, subscribe. Help me pay my friends. We out.
Peace.
Probably wondering if I think of you. Sorry, I'm for the bag right now. Yeah, I'm for the bag right now. Yeah, for the bag that I never had. Yeah, you probably mad right now. Yeah, I got a 2-piece now. Shit, I think they call them groupies now.